right, welcome to the Drill Down. We've got the business stories behind stocks on a move. I'm Corey Johnson. And we look at the 50 most important companies in technology. And of course, Rubrik is absolutely one of them. Rubrik CEO says cyberattacks are inevitable. The failure to recover doesn't have to be. Bipul Sinha will join us to explain how his company's platform is turning from panic to preemption. But first, it's sponsor time. The Drill Down brought to you by Era. Never miss another critical insight or other insights about companies. With Era, customize your company watch list, track key events, mentions, filings, and more with an easy-to-use AI-driven platform and a customizable interface. That's Era, AIERA.com. All right, welcome to the Drill Down. We've got the business stories behind stocks and move. Data breaches are inevitable. Rubrik CEO Bipul Sinha says the future of security, but what happens after the attack? Joins us right now from Silicon Valley. Bipul, good to see you. Do you remember we talked years when your company was private? John Chambers was with you. I think he was a former CEO, longtime CEO of Cisco, and I think he was backing your company as a venture capitalist.
It was a long time ago. So I remember first meeting you in 2017, 2018, and I not only did the Bloomberg show with you, but also did Bloomberg radio with you. And Rubrik was like maybe 100 people or something like that. We were a tiny company back then. Thank you so much for tracking us and encouraging us all through the years.
Don't know how you've done that. Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, the story is the same. I mean, you've identified this fantastic business problem, but it's more relevant than ever. And I wonder, today, is cyber resilience more urgent now than traditional cybersecurity?
See, last 20, 30 years in cyber, we focused on prevention and detection of attacks. And that prevention and detection space is now become like 80 to 100 tools, hundreds of vendors, but we are still seeing so many attacks. You can't prevent the unpreventable. And our thesis was, while the prevention and detection is required, there has to be a new vision, a new future for cybersecurity around resilience, which says that attacks will happen to you. Assume breach. But are you prepared to keep your services up and running, to ensure that banks can still you swipe your card and give you money, even when the banks are experiencing cyber attack? And that was our thesis. We built the whole business around it, and we have a comprehensive and differentiated platform to serve our customers.
How do you explain from a 30,000-foot view of how identity recovery solutions from Rubrik are different than the traditional legacy tools?
So if you look at the attack vectors, hackers are not hacking in. Hackers are logging in because they are stealing identities. They are buying identity from dark web and logging in. And when they log in behind the firewall, the world is their oyster. And they are going after identity system, destroying the identity system, escalating privilege, doing all sorts of things. So protecting identity and identity systems are critical. The issue is that identity by itself is important, but it's a little bit fuzzy unless you bring the data context to it. And that's what we are doing. We are bringing the data context to identity to create a comprehensive identity resilience platform by understanding identity impact on sensitive data, doing the identity recovery, doing the data recovery, bringing your services up and running so that you are ready for the inevitable cyber attack.
And the speed of recovery, of course, is so much faster too, I would imagine. I mean, is that a metric you offered?
Speed of recovery is everything, because since attacks are inevitable, you can only be in business if you can quickly restore your services and bring the services up and running. And that's why we created this preemptive recovery engine, that while you have not experienced attack, how do we ensure that we prepare you for that eventuality when the attacks comes to you? So Rubrik has this pre-computed hash and the threat hunting monitoring capabilities so that we are scanning your data proactively, keeping your data and keeping your clean recovery time ready, that as soon as attack hits, you are ready to recover as opposed to data processing.
And it's interesting, the effect of AI on everyone's business is interesting, but in cybersecurity, it's super interesting because it seems to be leading to so many more attacks and smarter attacks, and also changes the pace, the evolution of the attacks. But I would think that it's also your company, which you've been preparing for this moment for so many years. The AI changes things quite a bit.
AI is accelerating everything, both good and bad. So on the good side is accelerating productivity. Now you can do more with less. You can actually have an agent that actually completes the task for you. At the same time, on the bad side, the bad actors are using AI to do more intricate socially engineered attack. AI bad actors are using AI to create bad code faster to attack you, create services around cyber attacks. As a result, the cyber attacks is now going beyond human comprehension. And you have to really fight fire with fire. You have to have machine comprehensive and AI to be able to connect the dot across multitude of systems to be able to understand if this is an attack, and if this is an attack, what is the scope and extent of the attack, and how do I contain it, and how do I make sure that I'm back up and running.
I was talking to Nikesh Arora from Palo Alto Networks a few days ago, and what he was trying to convince me that within the security operations center that there are just so many alerts. One of the keys is to just, because the attacks are so numerous, sort of sorting through the most important ones. So those are the ones that where an operator can actually respond to. The things where they can actually make a difference is such an important thing. And I would imagine it's the same in your business.
Absolutely, because look, machine is really good at sorting through large amount of data, trying to bring correlation and create an emergent behavior analytics so that you can quickly see what is going on. And that's why the AI, machine learning, and particularly generative AI that can actually create from information to knowledge and give you exact information of what's going on and being able to communicate that in English or natural language is the power of AI. So I believe that the AI has a great future in cyber from the defense side. Obviously, we are partnering with Palo Alto, we are partnering with CrowdStrike, Zscalers, and all the vendors to bring the data security intelligence to the security operations on the infrastructure side where they are focused, so that you have end-to-end picture and end-to-end AI enablement.
It seems when I look at your results and I listen to your conference call that you're getting some really not just new customers, but big customers, and big customers are spending a lot more. How should I understand the drivers of that? Outside of your excellent leadership and your terrific sales team, but
Look, we had an excellent quarter and a fantastic start of the fiscal year. In fact, this is our second year as a public company. So, and if you look at what we produced, we not only produced high top line growth, 49% year over year for revenues, but also generated positive 12% free cash flow margin. And this combination of high growth and positive cash flow margin is unique. And it is happening because we are actually solving the number one problem in cybersecurity, which is cyber resilience. If you are a large bank, if you are a government, state, federal government, if you are a regulated industry, in fact, any business of any significance and scale, you want to ensure that you can maintain the digital trust. Digital trust is maintained when your services are up and running, no matter what. Because if somebody clicks on your service, either on mobile phone or internet, or trying to interact with you digitally, and if your services are down, they're not going to come back to you. So it is a matter of business existence. It is an existential threat. And we want to ensure that businesses can transform themselves digitally, deliver more digital products and services with confidence, and gain all the leverage and benefits of AI, because ultimately AI is all about data, and if your data don't have integrity and you don't have confidence in data, all the AI analysis is garbage in, garbage out.
How has the business of selling to heavily regulated industries like finance and healthcare changed for you over the course of the last 5 years or so?
Look, I mean, what is interesting is that all these regulated industry, whether it's financials, healthcare, and others, they have a lot more sensitive data than regular industry. If you look at like hospital, for example, they have 3 times more sensitive content. And every day an enterprise hospital is down, they actually incur $16 million of loss. So if the cyber recovery takes you 30 days, you are pretty much out of business. So there is a keen awareness and understanding that this is not the cyber of 5 or 10 years ago, which was like DDoS attack and a website is down. This is destructive attack, nation state, cyber espionage, infrastructure control. And in these kind of scenarios, having the ability to have resilience so that you can keep your services up and running no matter what happens to you is critical.
I'm going to ask you a geeky finance question, if I may. I model your company. One of the things I model is subscription ARR, right? The average recurring revenue, annually recurring revenues for your subscription business as a percentage of sales. And something happened, and I don't understand. I want to ask you about 3 years ago when it was already a really lovely sort of over 200% of revenues, but now it's up over 400%. Something turned in like early 2023. And I wonder what it is that's making your big sales, your big signings so much larger.
Look, as we have built brand names, as we have become public companies, we now have larger customers, very, very large customers looking at us because we are not fly-by-night private company that they don't have visibility into. They don't understand the balance sheet. They don't understand how you are doing every quarter. And this increased confidence and visibility being a public company is really bringing a largest of the large customers to Rubrik. And we are doing the massive cyber resiliency transformation for them. They are leaving legacy platforms to come to us. We are winning vast majority of deal head-to-head with new gen vendors, legacy vendors. Yeah. So this is a very important time, and we have a very uniquely differentiated technology in the marketplace because we deliver complete cyber resilience across data and identity by giving you risk picture and giving you fast cyber recovery. That's very, very unique, and that's what is inflecting our business.
And I would suppose that the development of generative AI within companies using their own specific data sets, which we haven't seen a lot of yet, I think, but if we're starting to, I think that's probably going to change your business as well, yes?
100%. I mean, Rubrik's business is data. We sit at the epicenter of data security and AI. And if your data is not secure, you can't deliver responsible AI. Think about a salesperson getting their hands on your sensitive legal data, or your legal department having access to a data from say financials that they should not have access to. All of this will reduce the confidence in AI, and ultimately the success of AI is the success of trust in AI, success of responsibility and security of the data, and that's what we are delivering.
Has the total market opportunity changed for you, presumably expanded somewhat with AI?
Definitely the market opportunity is expanding, and AI is such a wave that it will lift a lot of boats. AI is all around data, more data generation, AI preparation. Companies are transforming digitally more. Companies are transforming on cloud more, which again creates opportunity for us. So definitely AI is a big driver for our business.
When you look ahead at risks for your business, what worries you? What do you need to get ahead of now that things have changed so much for your business?
I mean, the way I think about it is that how do you create the next 100-year company? It's not about product or technology. It's about people and culture. And that's the most important thing for Rubrik, that can we maintain the same entrepreneurial focus and energy? And do we have a culture that brings people together so that it creates a platform for everyone to rise up to their highest career aspiration and elevate the company? If we have these two things, future will be bright.
That is really interesting. That's a great note to end on. I'll leave it there. It's such an interesting company, such an interesting story, and I'm glad you were able to share that.
Thank you, Corey, for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
All right. That was Bipul Sinha. The Drill Down Bites coming up right after this, the one number that tells us a whole lot. And of course, you can watch the Drill Down podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and on all of your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Spotify's, iHeart, TuneIn, and of course, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, though, and make sure you catch every show. All right, we are back with the Drill Down Bite, the one number that tells us a whole lot. That number is 411%. This company, as I mentioned, had annual subscription revenues that are now 411% of the subscription revenues they report in this quarter. Really strong growth for this company in terms of customers booking long-term big deals, and it's growing really fast. All right, thanks for checking out the Drill Down. Subscribe to us. Make sure you catch every show, whether it's about the business of building back or something else in technology. We're here to help.